Okay.
Hey, Nira.
Hey, Anja, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited for this conversation because I know you are a long-term hydro vegan. So
Ye-
I think you have to share a lot of valuable informations.
Yes, I'm very excited to meet you, and yeah, I'm excited for this interview. Thank you for having me.
Nice. So my first question is, for how long are you hydro vegan now?
Now for 11 years. It's a long time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so long time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yes, but on and off, not always high raw. I, I was experimenting with some things, but most of the times, right, high raw. Yes.
Okay. For how long were you experimenting with other diets in between?
I would say 2 or 3 years on and off, then going back to high raw and high carb because I was trying out to eat high fat, more veggies, and yeah, but in the end, high carb is the way to go. High food, I would say. Yeah,
Mhm. That's so interesting. And how did you feel on those other diets?
less energy, I would say. And in the in the first few days, you won't notice a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, and but after a few weeks, there's a big difference in my mood. It's my experience. So in my mood and my energy, because I'm a really active person, and I notice when I have no energy to go out with my dog to do my morning exercise, and I'm running around all day, and so I need my energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my skin was not looking so good, and my hair was falling out. So yeah,
Wow, a lot of changes.
a lot. Yeah, and my cycle pain, my period pain
Hmm.
was more heavy on high fat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I can notice this myself also.
Yes.
Yeah, so during my cycles, I also like to just eat fruit sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot better, but sometimes I really don't need to like cut all of the fat, I think.
No, I don't. I like to use chia seeds or hemp seeds in my smoothies, and
Yeah,
that's that too.
yeah, they give a nice
Yeah.
texture.
Yes, and it's more satisfying.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so what made you hop on this lifestyle?
Yeah. Do you want to hear my whole journey or only when I started 11 years ago? So, because 11 years ago, I I was vegetarian for since I'm 12,
Hmm.
and then I thought because of the animals, I went
Hmm.
vegetarian. And 11 years ago, I thought, oh no, I think I have to do more because I didn't feel good because of my past. I had to change something. I wanted to eat and feel good and not to, yeah, restrict myself, over exercise. And yeah, so I searched on YouTube, and I found so many informations there, but only freely Banana Girl. I think you know her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she was yeah, she looked so good, and she was eating a lot, and I thought, okay, I can give it a try, and I started with my banana smoothies. But I added greens to it. I always make sure that I eat greens with my banana smoothies because yeah,
Hmm.
I felt better with this, and chia seeds.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
So you also come from a background of eating disorders, right?
yes, right. And this began when I was 12, so
Mhm.
it's a long time ago.
How did all of this develop, and how did you feel when you were struggling with it? I'm always curious about those things because I didn't experience them myself.
Do you want to know how I did? Yeah, I don't know how it all started. because when it started, I lost a lot of weight because I didn't eat. I didn't want to eat. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because my parents took me to the therapist, and the only thing they wanted was gaining weight. So I gained weight, and then they said, okay, you're good, you can go. So I had no therapy. I only had to gain weight, and that's it. So the underlying problem was not found. And yeah, so yeah, it's hard for me to talk about it sometimes, because yeah, it's a long time. I never was I never was cured, because I ate, but I didn't know how to eat. I ate and then I over-exercised, or I worked too much, only to hide from something, I would say. So first I was anorexic, then bulimic, and then I ate, but I over-exercised, so that I exercised my diet out. And then I had a burnout from all of this, because not eating, over-exercising, working too much, or always 2 or 3 jobs. And then, I thought, okay, I can't live like this. I'm getting older, and I want to have my life back. So then I discovered Freely, and I began to change these things, but it was not I was struggling still, because when you don't work on your mindset, the diet can't do everything for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can relate to some point, because I also had bad relationship with food because of my digestive issues.
Yeah.
I really hated food because it didn't give me anything positive back.
Yes.
So I just ate because I needed to eat,
Yeah.
but not because I would want to eat or I would enjoy eating my meals. Yeah, so
Yes, I hated food too. Some of my coworkers, and I hate cooking. I never
me
cooked,
too.
so the raw food diet was perfect for me. Oh, I have to put all in the blender, I can mix it and drink it. So it was perfect. And some of the, some girls hate drinking the calories, but for me it was easier. I didn't feel like eating, because I hated eating. I don't know why. Yeah. So it was so easy for me. Yeah.
Mhm.
It gave me nothing. One coworker asked me sometimes, "Why don't you cook? Don't you eat? Don't you like to eat?" And I said, "Not really. I eat because I need my nutrients, and I need the energy to live my life. But I didn't like to eat. Now it's the opposite. I love to eat, because
Yeah.
it's also fresh. It's tasty."
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I can feel the same about those things. Definitely.
Yeah.
So how was your transition?
First vegetarian, then vegan, and high raw was at the same time. But it was not raw, so it was okay for me. I didn't think about it. I only did it because I felt so good.
Mhm.
And yeah, I
So,
didn't transition,
mhm.
so I have not a big transition time in between vegetarian and high raw.
Do you think it's important to transition, like for others,
Mm, It
or
depends. For most people, it's easier to transition and not to say, today I'm high raw or fully raw, and they are missing some things. But for some people, it's easier to go fully raw and don't think about it that much, because some people stay in the transition period all the
yeah.
time. They're transitioning, and
Mhm.
so it depends, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. So
Eh,
what were all the benefits you experienced, and how long did it take you to notice them?
Oh, not that long. The energy right away, I would say, because when you drink so many banana smoothies, you have the energy. It's so good, and all the fruit, and yeah, my skin was different. I never had skin issues, but it was different. It was shinier, and my hair got thicker because I ate so poorly. The time before, I had not the best hair. It was always drier than now. It was thinner. I had, yeah, it was thinner. And now I have more hair. I had shinier hair. My curls are better right now, and better digestion, better mood, better cycles. Yeah, so many things. My nails are shinier. My skin is not so dry everywhere. Yeah, I feel better in general. I can focus better. Yeah, I can focus better. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like my recent experience with transitioning one of my clients to fully raw. Now we're doing like one fully raw day a week, and she noticed the changes like in day one. Yeah, so it's quite magical. Okay, here's Louis. He wants
Hey, Lot is in the background too.
Yeah. No, I don't want to let Louis in because he would want to cuddle all the time.
Yeah, he's so young.
Yeah, I can't really focus then on things. So sorry for the back noise. But yeah, like it's quite magical how fast you can experience
Benefits.
big differences.
Yeah, it is. I think when you come from a normal diet where you eat eggs and meat and everything, maybe the transition should be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And the more you leave out, when you leave out meat, you feel better. When you leave out the dairy products, you feel better. When you go high raw, you feel better. Then going fully raw, you feel better. So there's always a stage where you feel a big difference, in my opinion, in my experience.
Okay. Here he is. Made his way here.
Oh, he's away.
So
Your daughter's sleeping.
that's nice. She's a good girl.
She's older.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, puppies are funny.
Yeah.
A lot of fun with them. So, what were the biggest challenges you experienced with this raw food diet?
First it was giving up coffee,
Mhm.
but when I want something, it's I think I do it, and then when I do it right away, it's easy. So I quit drinking coffee and never went back. Then what was my biggest struggle? The chocolate.
Yeah.
And I have phases where when I'm struggling, I eat more chocolate, and then I think, oh, I had to quit it because you feel it. I feel more, yeah, I have less energy then, and I feel more moody, and yeah, only the chocolate makes a big difference for me. Yeah, and eating more fruit always helps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also struggled with chocolate at first. But then I saw how it affected me, like especially my digestion. I was really constipated. So for anyone that is like struggling with constipation, you should like try being free of chocolate and see the changes for you. But yeah, I had so many problems that it wasn't really hard for me to like ditch the chocolate because of those struggles. So yeah.
Yeah, the harder the pain, the easier. And
Yeah.
I only notice lower energy and nothing else. Then it's not so easy. And with my background, I always think, maybe be not so hard on yourself, because I'm sometimes afraid to fall back when I'm not so stable. Yeah. So I'm not so hard on myself. Maybe it's not right, I don't know, but for me it works.
So how do you deal with social situation on this diet?
For me it's very easy. I was always like that. Maybe sometimes I eat before when we go to a celebration or a wedding or a birthday or something like that. Or I take my food with me or my smoothie. It's easy for me. And uh, the longer you do it, the easier it gets, because people notice you feel better, and then they are interested in what you are doing, and then it gets easier for you to do it because they're interested, and maybe they want some food from you or some meals, and you can bring something for them with you, a good salad or something like that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of self-development when it comes to social situations, because I think they're not necessarily about the food, but more about your own traumas, your own limiting beliefs, and not having that high self-esteem, maybe. So it takes a lot of expressing yourself and holding yourself in those situations.
Yes, but that was never a problem for me because I feel good and then I do it. And when other people are not comfortable with this, it's not my fault. I think they have to work on themselves then. But I never judge someone. When they eat meat, they can eat meat. I drink my stuff, and when they're interested what I do, I can tell them what I do, and yeah, I think being an example is always the best.
Yeah, it definitely feels too good to not do it. So
yes, I can't eat what they eat. I don't feel good then, and why should I do this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you hear the noise? That is
No.
Lou making.
No, what is he doing?
He's chewing on my on some wood.
Oh my god. Yeah, he hears us talking about food. Maybe he's hungry now.
Yeah, he's hungry all the time.
Yeah, my dog too. Yes.
It's like the worst time for him to do this.
Yes.
Louis. Well, let's continue. Sorry for any noise.
It's okay. I have a dog too, but she's sleeping. She was outside with us for an hour and she has eaten and now she's tired. Yeah.
So what do you eat in a day?
I start with my juice. I have it today. Mostly a juice, a smoothie, or fruits for breakfast, always. Then later, when I get hungry, it's often after my walk with Lotte, so 2 or 3 hours later, I eat some more food. And in the evening, a big salad. And when I get hungry in between, I eat dates or some more food. Yeah, that's it. And sometimes I make myself some sweet potatoes or a treat made from dates and oats and carrot powder, so that I have something sweet. Yeah, that sweet on top of the sweet food, but it's different. Sometimes I crave something different.
Yeah, like every day is like different, and you can really eat the same kind of meals every day.
Yes, I eat. Yeah, my juices are always different. What I put in my smoothies is different. Sometimes bananas. Sometimes I make apple mousse. Apples with hello. Apples with yeah, what the date, right? And the Vitamix. Yeah.
So what do you think causes food addiction?
Food addiction. I think the cause I explain what it is. Food addiction is there's emotional eating and food addiction, and food addiction is when you want a certain substance. Like for me, it was chocolate. So I can speak for my own. It was chocolate when I came from work. It was a habit to eat chocolate, and I wanted it. I was thinking about it all the time, and when I don't have it, I couldn't focus on something different. So food addiction is something when you want something like chocolate or maybe some dates. You can be addicted to healthy foods, and emotional eating is a little bit different. It's when you when you are sad, when you eat when you're sad, or when you're angry, or when you're stressed. I can speak about both because it's not a question you ask, I know, because I experienced both, and both my trigger was my work. And when I came home from work, I was so stressed, I was so not fulfilled and not happy that I was searching for something, and I was addicted to chocolate, maybe because of the stimulants, and I wanted to numb myself, my emotions, so I ate the chocolate, and that was the emotional eating in my case. So I experienced both, and so I had everything. Yeah.
So how did you overcome them?
With eating more for me and quitting what was causing it. You I think you have to find out what is causing both of it. Food addiction, I would say you have to leave. You don't have to have the food in the house. When I'm addicted to chocolate, I can't have it in my house because I eat it. Maybe not today, but the latest tomorrow I eat it. So not having it in the house helps with food addiction. And with emotional eating, I would say having it not in the house and finding out what is the root cause for this. For me, it was my work, so I had to quit my work. It's not it's easy said, not easy done, but you have to find out what's causing the problems, and then you have to work on it.
Yeah, going to the root cause.
Yeah.
Not suffocating your pain and discomfort.
Yes. For both, I would say, because food addiction, you are not I don't want to say something wrong, but I think addiction has something to do with your inner self too. So
for sure,
yeah,
yeah, because addiction, I think it comes from frustration, from searching the results and the answers in external sources, and you can't really like satisfy those pains and discomforts by searching for external things. So you get in a loop of frustration and needing it more and more and doing it again and again because it never helps.
Yes. And sometimes it's maybe you want to hurt yourself and not feeling your feelings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, emotional eating is like a big topic, I think, in every situation, I think, of almost every person.
This is what I want to say. I know so many people that are emotional eaters, and they even don't notice it, because they are frustrated with what they are doing. They are not happy in their lives. They are always doing things they don't want to do. They don't listen to themselves anymore. And but I think that's society, because you are so under pressure with everything. You have to earn so much money. You have to do this. You have to earn a house. You have to earn this, and you have to work so hard, because only when you're working hard, you are someone. You know what I mean? When you're not working so hard, you are doing something wrong in society. I feel so sometimes. Yeah.
So how do you even know that you're like an emotional eater? What would you say?
I think because I know that wasn't fulfilled and I was not happy. And always when I wasn't happy, I ate the wrong foods. I didn't want to eat. But I have to say there were times where when I was stressed, I didn't eat at all. So I had experienced this at this too, but it switched with time. So yeah.
So the final question would be, if someone wants to start this raw food diet, what would be your advice for someone who is just beginning with it?
Yeah, it depends on what their diet is at the moment, but when they're eating a normal diet like meat and dairy, I would say transition with replacing the first meal, replacing your breakfast with fruit and with a lot of fruit. And then maybe the next or the next week after, replacing the breakfast and the lunch with fruit, and or with a salad. You can eat a salad at lunch when you're feeling better with it. Maybe try raw till 4, where you eat raw all day and then a cooked meal in the evening. But I would not eat only the cooked meal in the evening. I would eat first food and then the cooked meal. So you eat not that much of the cooked meal. So you are more raw. Yeah.
That's a great tip. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or a salad before and then the cooked meal. But I wouldn't eat only cooked in the evening.
Yeah, it's heavy on digestion for sure.
Yeah, right. It's a big difference. When I eat potatoes at night, even potatoes are easy digestible.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time and your energy. And I really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too, but sorry, my English is not so perfect. That's why I'm a little bit shy. And yeah, I hope everything is understandable.
Yeah, I think it is. And I think you really gave some value for someone that is struggling, because like I said, I think a lot of people are struggling with food addiction and emotional eating. And I think that these are the main root causes for people not changing their lifestyle. So yeah.
Yes, that's of course. And I think only diet is not everything. I think you have to change your whole lifestyle, and there are so many factors. And when you're an emotional eater or when you're addicted to something, it's not only that you are harming yourself mentally. In the long term, you're harming your physical body, because most of the time you don't eat well when you're addicted to something, or too much, or when you're emotional eater, you're doing not good. You're doing yourself not good. So it's not a mental thing in the long run, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I really thank you for your time, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.